Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today's video I will go through my DS and 3DS collection with you as of November 2020. Everything I show you here today I've purchased myself, and of course, like my last video, anything you want to see gameplay on or you have any questions about, just pop it in the comments below and I will always respond. So in no particular order, we will start with Shin Megami Tensei 4. I own this because I am a massive Persona fan and just collect things Persona. So obviously with this being the original series that Persona comes from, I grabbed this to try and see if I like it. It's basically a more difficult version of Persona. I haven't played it very much yet, so obviously it is an Atlas title that I really do want to give a go. Don't know why I started at 4, it was just the one that I found. I then have, for the 3DS, Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth and Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth, obviously being a much more recent purchase and probably pretty much the last major 3DS game there will ever be. These are very fun games. They're a lot like the Labyrinth games. Can't remember what they're called. Don't think I have any of them. But they're a first-person dungeon crawling labyrinth with obviously RPG elements to them, where you are stuck in an alternate reality, playing as your favourite Persona characters. The first game has characters from 3 and 4, and the second game, I believe, has characters from, I think it might be 4 and 5, but don't quote me on that. I'm not totally sure. These are very fun. I then have the Fire Emblem, a few Fire Emblem games. I have Fire Emblem Awakening, which was the first Fire Emblem I tried, like many people, and is the one that got me into the system. The game series, this is excellent. I've completed this. These are strategy turn-based battle games with obviously RPG stories to them. These are amazing. You kind of see the battle in real time when you take your turn. You see the battle action, which just makes them a bit more interesting for me because I'm not really a strategy fan. Because of that, I also got the Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia, the Echoes version. This is a remake of an old Fire Emblem game. Haven't tried that yet, picked it up so that I could have a go. And then of course, more recently for the 3DS, I got the Fire Emblem Fates. I picked up the Birthright version. There's 3 different versions of this altogether. I think you can play Birthright, Conquest, and then like a DLC that's a bit of a weird combination of the two. I think that's a bit much. I'm only ever going to play it once, so I got the Birthright version. I grabbed, which was very difficult to find, really wanted to play Radiant Historia. This is the perfect chronology. This is, well, it's an amazing game where you play, it's an RPG, you play where you change time to fix the mistakes you make. So the whole game's about kind of rewriting time and fixing elements of the story that you've not got correct. So just really interesting principle to it and a lot of fun. So obviously when they did, I think this is a remaster of the Radiant Historia game, I managed to grab this one in Europe. I have Miitopia because it's weird and fun, and that's exactly the kind of game I like to play. This is surprisingly quite fun. It's a very simple pick up and play game. You play weird levels and weird battles to kind of get your Miis their faces back and kill the evil lord. Just very funny, quick animations to it that just, it ended up being a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I have Monster Hunter Stories. I'm not a Monster Hunter player, it's not my kind of thing, I'm not a fan, I don't own them. But this is an RPG version that I thought might be a lot of fun, and sorry to say I haven't played it yet, need to get on with that one. I'm a Style Boutique fan. And so, of course, because of that, I own New Style Boutique for the 3DS, New Style Boutique 2 for the 3DS, and New Style Boutique 2 and 3 for the 3DS. These are, in my opinion, excellent games because I like this kind of thing. You are a shop manager and you stock your shop and sell clothing, items, handbags. You can change your avatar and, you know, change your hair and her makeup and things like that. I'm not going to say it's a girl game because I know that will set some people off, but it's my kind of game, so you've got to be into that sort of thing. But if you are, this is one of the best versions really of that kind of game. So those are excellent, and I've played all three quite a lot. I've got a lot of the Professor Layton games. I like these a lot. These are not in order in my pile, which is very bad of me, but I have Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, which is another good game series. Professor Layton is like puzzles. It's story based. You crack puzzles to move on to the next section, whereas Phoenix Wright is a lawyer court based game where you kind of, you know, break down suspects and witnesses on the stand using the clues you've collected from the story to kind of crack the case. So this is a version of the two together that I haven't actually played yet. I grabbed it because, well, it's part of a series that I collect and I will play it at some point, hopefully. The backlog is real. I have Professor Layton and the Lost Future, Professor Layton Spectre's Call, Professor Layton and the Azrin Legacy, newer one, this one on the 3DS, Professor Layton and Pandora's Box, and then the original Professor Layton and the Curious Village is the first one. They're all pretty much the same sort of thing. There's a new version that has Catriel instead on it for the Switch that looks interesting as well. I'm a massive Final Fantasy fan, of course, because I'm an RPG player and I like RPGs, Japanese RPGs, kind of the quirkier and the weirder, the better. So because of that, I have a lot of Final Fantasy games. If they exist, I will have purchased it. So I have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates for the DS. I have Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo Tales for the DS. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time for the DS. Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings for the DS. And I do believe that is like a tactics game. Final Fantasy 4 for the DS, Final Fantasy 3 for the DS, Final Fantasy The Four Heroes of Light for the DS, and then along the same vein but not exactly the same thing, I have Bravely Default and Bravely Second Endlayer, which is a sequel. Massive fan of these games, mainly because of course they are Square Enix. Because to be honest, anybody that's actually played Bravely Default all the way to the end like I have, you're basically replaying the same level over and over and over again for hours when you get to the end. And I'm a massive fan. I'm hoping beyond all hope the new game for the Switch is going to fix some of those issues because it kind of drains the fun out of it. But I still completed it, so not sure what that says for me. Love them. I do have both the At Rhythm Final Fantasy games, the original and Curtain Call. It's just a rhythm-based Final Fantasy game. They're quite pretty good actually. I have The Legend of Legacy. This is a strange kind of RPG game that you fight on different maps. Haven't played it a whole lot because I found it actually to be one quite difficult, which may just be my skill level if we're being really honest. So I just need to get back into it and give it a proper go. But again, it's in my queue. I'm a massive Tales of fan. I've stuck with them even through Tales of Zestiria, so we'll put up with anything. And one of their better games is Tales of the Abyss for the 3DS. This is very good. It kind of follows their usual style of game. If you haven't seen the Tales of series before and you're a massive RPG kind of fan, then it is one to look up. There's loads of videos about them with a lot of information out there. They're a long-standing series, kind of like Final Fantasy, and you will find a lot of games that you can get your teeth into. I have Stellar Glow, which is actually a lot of fun by Atlas. This one is, well, it definitely has a waifu element and a little bit of fanfare to it, if we're being honest. But it is actually very fun. The gameplay is different and original, and the story is quite fun. You collect witches, and they're kind of seen as the big evil of the world, whereas they're actually helping you to try and save everything. The main thing with this was it is actually grid-based battle system, which I usually don't like and I'm not a fan of, so the fact that I do actually really like this game says quite a bit to the story. I have oh, I'm sorry, all these costs just are so persistent. Yokai Watch and Yokai Watch 2 Bony Spirits. There is of course two different versions of 2. I have the Bony Spirits one. This is very similar to Pokemon, if you're familiar with it, but has a better story to it, if we're being honest, because it's just new for a change. And a very, very strange battle system that takes a bit of getting used to and you may or may not like. But, you know, they're fun if you can find them for a good price. I think they're up to number 4 now, so there's a few of those out. I have Tomodachi Life, which is kind of, you know, the Nintendo 3DS version of The Sims. Really fun, quite funny, better than I thought it was going to be. You kind of have like a hotel complex that you kind of create people that you know, you create the avatars the way you want them to look so that you can use kind of people you know in real life that you don't like and match them up with people that you know would terrorise them, and it's actually quite a lot of fun. So that one. I have Boulder Dash XL 3D, old games these, bit of a remake of it. These are always quite fun, you just work your way through the levels, breaking through the rocks to find the exits. Just simple platform fun that are always good games for the portable DS systems. I have Yoshi's New Island because, well, you know, we collect the Mario and the Yoshi game, so ended up with that. Haven't played it much, so can't say to a lot of it. I did pick up, obviously because of my Hatsune Miku fetish, we'll call it what it is. I collected this Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. It's a rhythm game that has a bit of a storyline to it. It's unusual. I'm not far enough in to know if I actually like it or don't like it, so I'm sticking with that one and we will see. One I definitely do like, I picked up Ever Oasis a few years back now. I love this. This is a very simple kind of build your island or your oasis, I suppose. Level up your shops, craft the things you need, go out and adventure, collect the people that will populate your town, and fix the I think it's the fairy that lives in the oasis that makes everything alive, and just a lot of fun. Completed it, and it is one that I will actually go back to, which is rare. I have Hometown Story, and I have Story of Seasons, Trio of Towns. These are all your usual form, craft, collect. This is Harvest Moon. Story of Seasons are the people that used to make the good Harvest Moons but can't use the title and now make Story of Seasons, which is good like Harvest Moon by the people that made Harvest Moon when it was good. So these are always good. I no longer really buy the Harvest Moon games because I'm not a fan of the new versions. I have Order Up because it's amazing. If you like kind of food crafting fun, running your restaurant, doing it up, these are brilliant. Love these. Sticking with that one. I play that a lot. Strangely enough, the only Zelda game I have on the DS is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I'm not a big Zelda player. I just never have been. I actually find them quite difficult. I'm always lost. I get irritated, and then so I never really collected many. So I collected this because I found it for a cheap price and just added it to my collection more than anything. Then because I am a massive fan of Pikmin, I did get Hey Pikmin when it came out. It's alright. It's a fun platformer if you're a massive fan of the series, but obviously it's not the 3D Pikmin open world kind of game that we're used to, but maybe the only one that we ever get. I have Seventh Dragon 3 Chord UFO. This was a bit of a hidden gem, to be honest. I collected this. I've played some of it. Obviously, I need to go back to it, but it is really, really good, is the only way to describe it. It's an unusual premise to it. The story's fun, the characters are likeable, the battle system works, and it's just a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's one of those little gems that you find that, you know, you can really enjoy. So I need to go back to that one. I have Puzzle and Dragons Z and Puzzle Dragons Super Mario Brothers Edition. This is like a match 3 kind of game, so yeah, I haven't played it. I've got Suikoden Tierkreis, which I'm pretty sure means Suikoden Tactics. These Suikoden games, not this one, I haven't played this one, I collected it just because I saw it and added it to my collection. The Suikoden games, however, are amazing. I have Suikoden and Suikoden 2, 4 and 5, just missing 3, and I've played 1, 4 and 5, and they are very good games. They have, of course, announced their Kickstarter for their new Suikoden game that they're creating, and I am, like everyone, very, very excited for that. It's just a shame we will have to wait such a long time for it. I have Hysteria Hospital, which is a time management game. It's one of those quick pick up and play a level sort of things. You have to try and save your patients quick before they leave the hospital. I've got Zookeeper, which is, in my opinion, one of the older and best match 3 games that you can play just because of the funny icons, really. I've played that a lot. If you ever played Azure Legends for the PlayStation 1, not sure if there's an older version than that, but I played it on the PlayStation 1. It's an amazing old tower-based dungeon crawler game where you build up your town and kind of create relationships and fix things and hunt the tower for monsters and collect them and sell things, and it's just really, really good. This is, I believe, the sequel, Tao's Adventure Curse of the Demon Seal for the DS, so obviously I just picked it up more for what it is than having actually played much of it. I've got Puzzle Quest Galactrix, which is kind of a match 3 game that is used to battle the bosses that you run into in space. That is actually a lot of fun. I played that quite a lot. Got a couple of the cooking games. I don't play them, just ended up with them because they were very cheap and they are a popular game series. I have Cooking Mama and Cooking Mama World Outdoor Adventures. I am, however, a massive Cake Mania fan. Cake Mania 2, Cake Mania 1 and Cake Mania 3. Again, it's just a time management game where you run a little cake shop and you have to serve your customers as fast as possible to get the score you need. It has a little bit of a story to it, sort of, and they are just one of the ones that I enjoy I've got some of the Dash games, so same thing, same premise, time management, just finishing the levels quick as you can. Wedding Dash, Diner Dash, and Diner Dash Floor on the go. I then have some old My Sims games, just because I played these a lot on the Wii and really liked them, so I just kind of added these to my collection. I have My Sims Kingdom, My Sims, and probably the best one, and it is the newest, My Sims Agents. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a cross between, you know, The Sims and kind of more cutesy chibi gameplay that's a little bit more quest based. I have Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. This is an amazing game, very fun. It's like a turn-based battle game with an RPG element to it, of kind of trying to save your friends, and it's like a match 3 kind of game, so that when you match your guys up, they will then fight the other side. Bit tabletop-ish, very good, I like that one, played that a lot. I've ended up with Adventure Time. Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? Just picked it up one time because it was really cheap, haven't played it. I've got original Boulder Dash Rocks, played this a lot, this is fun. This is just a little level-based gameplay where you have to find the exit. I have, for some reason, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, Dark Motives. Haven't played it, couldn't tell you what it's like, but it is basically a forensic detective kind of game. Dragon Quest-wise, I have 7, which I picked up recently when I saw it. I've not managed to find 8 yet, but I'm keeping an eye out for it. And I, of course, have Dragon Quest 9, which I have played a lot. It's a lot of fun, that one. I do like the Dragon Quest games, and I do have 11 now, so hopefully I will get round to that. I have Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, because I'm an Animal Crossing fan. I picked this up to have a look at. It is literally what it says it is. You decorate the animals' rooms to the way they want them decorating, and you rinse and repeat that an awful lot. So if you like that kind of thing, you'll love it. That's kind of all there is to it. I have Star Fox 64. It's an old game, bit of a fan favourite. It's what's the word? Space-based gameplay in your ship with a storyline. It is fun. Of course, if you've played the new Starlink on the Switch, he does appear in that as well. I'm a massive Hatsune Miku fan, so of course I have Project Mirai for the 3DS. I could only find this from PlayAsia, so that's why it's not in English. I have that one. I then have Fantasy Life. This, if you like kind of, RPG with crafting, collecting, elements, this is the perfect game, especially on the DS console, because it's very portable. The story is really likeable and fun, the characters are fun, the idea is brilliant, and to be honest, for which is rare, leveling the crafting and leveling the different battle systems and collecting the things you need is actually really a lot of fun. I invested a lot of time into this. There is a DLC available for it as well, and you'll not be sorry with this one. If that's the kind of game you like, this is the best version I've found, and I've played a lot of them. I have Luigi's Mansion and Luigi's Mansion 2, because if you've seen my Switch video, I'm a massive fan of this series. I love number 3, it's definitely my favourite, but it doesn't mean that these aren't really good playable games. The humour's good, the animation's good, and it's just a very fun premise and the usual kind of Mario game. I have Super Mario 3D Land, which of course they are popping onto the Switch soon. Have Mario and Luigi Paper Jam Brothers. Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story and Bowser Jr.'s Journey. Mario Kart 7. Then Pokemon wise, because everybody always has a little bit of Pokemon, I have Detective Pikachu, because I don't know how I ended up with that, but it is actually quite fun. It's you know, a very simplistic version of a detective story. Follow the clues, follow the story, find out who done it. If you've seen the movie, which I actually really enjoyed, then you know what this game's about. And the other Pokemon games that I have are Omega Ruby and Pokemon Sun. I've owned many versions of Pokemon over the years, and inevitably these are the two that I currently have for my 3DS. That finishes off my complete collection, apart from the games that I have that I don't have cases for. I have a small selection of cartridges that I've collected over time that I just kind of try and every now and again keep an eye out for, you know, the cases to match up to them. I have Harvest Moon, Island of Happiness, Zoo Tycoon 2, The Settlers, Skylanders, Magical Star Sign, Ace Attorney, that says Justice for All. I have the Ace Attorney, The Phoenix Wright. This is Golden Sun 2, Dark Dawn. Amazing game, a lot of fun. And another copy of Cake Mania that I originally had in the case and it stopped working, so I got another cartridge. So I'm not actually sure why I still have that. And that completes my DS and 3DS collection. So thank you for sticking with me and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, something a little bit different. If you did, please like the video for me. I'm a very new channel and very small, so it just helps my content. And obviously, if you enjoy the content, then please subscribe to the channel. I will see you soon in the next video.